Everybody, hello. It is 9:15 p.m. Central Time, 55 degrees and cloudy. Thank you so much, squirrel. All right. I hope everybody's doing good tonight, relaxing, and getting a little peace from the storms. So, what we're going to talk about now is this Noel Rodriguez. I don't know his whole name. It's a long one. Noel Rodriguez Alvarez or Alvarez. Who cares? What's important about him is that he's a 6-year-old male missing, and mom claims she sold him at the Fiesta Market. That's what she says. There's a little cutie right here, right now. So this is a missing child, and it's worse than just a missing child. So let's just get right on into it tonight. Let's get it.
To the Dallas area. We want to get an update on the case of that missing 6-year-old boy that we brought you, a couple of weeks ago. We're going to check in yet again with Fox 4 Dallas reporter David Santendri. He is on this story today. David, good to see you. What more do we know? Some shocking new developments, aren't there?
Yeah, we're talking about 6-year-old Noel Rodriguez Alvarez, and tonight we were able to get our hands on a search warrant which details some new information. So initially, family members reached out to CPS because they hadn't seen Noel in quite some time, and they feared that he had either been sold or even killed. These are some distant family members, well, an uncle and some other family members, because they weren't getting a whole lot of answers from Noel's mother, stepfather, or siblings who he was living with. But tonight I'm speaking with the chief of police, and he tells me that they have been able to rule out at least one of the family's specific theories. A search warrant for the property where 6-year-old Noel Rodriguez Alvarez lived in a shed behind a home with 8 family members in the Tarrant County city of Everman reveals details regarding the special needs child's disappearance.
Obviously, we're still looking at every avenue.
The warrant details communication between police and Noel's uncle, who said his sister, Cindy Rodriguez Singh, who's Noel's mother, told her mother she had sold Noel to an unknown female at a Fiesta Market.
But we can specifically rule out he was not sold to a lady in a Fiesta Market.
Everman Police Chief Craig Spencer believes Noel's mother said that to mislead family members.
We don't find any evidence to suggest that the child was sold at all.
The warrant says rumors within the family were that Noel had been sold or killed.
But right now, not able to say if you believe Noel is alive or not.
I'm still going to be an optimist. I got to be an optimist until I see the facts tomorrow.
Thursday, Everman PD will host a press conference detailing new evidence.
Getting a lot of warrant returns on geolocation data that shows their travels and bank records and things. So we've had a ton of investigators spend really the last few days combing through every transaction, every phone call, every text message.
The warrant reads that Noel's uncle had not seen the child for about a year. The last time he saw Noel, he claims he confronted Noel's mother after she assaulted Noel with her car keys because he drank water and she did not want him to wet his diaper. Rodriguez Singh, her new husband, Arshdeep Singh, and 6 of her kids flew to Turkey and then India after investigators began looking into Noel's disappearance. The family purchased one-way tickets, according to the warrant, and Noel was not on the flight.
Obviously, we're still looking at every avenue.
Tomorrow, that press conference from the chief of police will be at 2:30 in the afternoon. That's Central Standard Time, hoping to get some more information on what they believe happened to Noel. Andrew?
And David, other than that upcoming press conference, does it seem to you, you've been on this story for so long, that police have, more leads, more, I guess, narratives, plots to track down?
So it doesn't appear that they have any more leads as far as people they are talking to, but what the chief briefly mentioned in that story is new evidence that they've been able to gather: cell phone data, credit card information, purchases that they've made. So we're hoping to get some sort of a timeline from that information that will most likely be coming out tomorrow at the press conference, and that might point us in a better direction as to what happened to this 6-year-old.
All right, Fox 4 Dallas reporter David Santendri there live for us on top of this story. David, we'll check in again if there are any more developments or leads.
That's just, I don't think I've ever heard of that, and all the missing children and children that are traded, children that are sold. I don't think I've ever heard of one sold at the flea market. So I'm kind of glad that someone said it wasn't true, and yet at the same time, because of their actions of getting on planes and everything, it kind of feels like it is true. And I don't want to say that, but just the police records revealed that the uncle um, of the 6-year-old told police he personally witnessed the boy's mother abusing him. Cindy Rodriguez Singh told the police told her mother she told her mother she had sold the child to an unknown woman at a flea market. And so that caused a whole new acquired search warrant. And I know it sounds crazy that someone would do that, but it's Texas. I've been to Texas, and they are really big flea markets. It's not like anything you've ever seen. They are massive, and they're very frequent everywhere, all over the road, and they have campgrounds full of them. So, is it a possibility? Unfortunately, I have to say yes. Rodriguez told police his sister later claimed that she could not contact the female over a fear of being reported to CPS. You ought to be reported to CPS. I have no mercy for this mother right here at all, and I really don't have any mercy for her husband, because, well, who does that? What kind of man does that? Runs and doesn't care about this child. The police chief said, we have no evidence to support this rumor. And if that is the case, he's telling everybody at the police conference, your participation in this and keeping this kid's face out front and center where people can see him on a day-to-day basis is highly important, because he can be anywhere. I mean, that's just it. He's a cutie. They have this picture out on the city. I guess this is what they would consider a bull. This might be at the town hall. But get his picture out there. Definitely. And this is the lovely person who thought it was okay to just sell him. Let's leave her up there so we don't forget what she looks like. Wednesday evening, Everman police restated that the investigators, they haven't found any evidence to support that Noel was sold. But that doesn't mean she did not give him to a trafficking party. of some sort. Um, they're getting a lot of warrants returns on geolocation data that shows their travels and bank records and things. So they've got a ton of investigators, spending really the last few days combing through every transaction, every phone call, every text message. I would think they would be laying low. Uh, but Chief Spencer says they can specifically rule out he was not sold to a lady in the Fiesta Mart. Yeah, you can rule that out, but you can't rule out he was given away to a trafficking party. You just can't. Uh, he they didn't have to get a check by him to that. Apparently, she would be willingly give him away. She's got 6 kids. This is not her only child. Uh, the police said the last time that they can prove that Noel was seen. I say Noel. Other people say Noel. I mean, Noel is how I think how you say this name for a girl. So for me, it's Noel. Was last seen November 2022. And I've been racking my brain trying to figure out how. How's it been that long before people step up and come and say, hey, where is he? Does he not have doctor's appointments? I don't know. Just normal kid things that, children are involved in. So a felony warrant was issued for the missing mother, husband, after police said she gave them false information regarding her son's whereabouts. The warrant reads that Noel's uncle had not seen the child for about a year. And the last time he saw Noel, he claims he confronted Noel's mother after she assaulted Noel with car keys because he drank water. Because she did not want him to wet his diaper. Yeah, that's what I said. That's what I said. So you see how this is going already, right? Rodriguez Singh is her new husband. Arshdeep Singh and 6 of her kids flew to Turkey. She did, her husband did, her new husband. So Rodriguez Singh, the woman, and her new husband, Arshdeep Singh, and 6 of her kids flew to Turkey and then to India after investigators began looking into Noel's disappearance. The family purchased one-way tickets, according to. And Noel was not on the flights. So last Friday, the police searched a property where they had been living and nothing was discovered. So an Amber Alert was issued for the 6-year-old last month, and the continued persons report was issued for Noel. Investigators said the boy was both physical and developmental challenges. So he's got some issues he's going through. And this is, I guess, from his birth. So his birth, how he was being raised, and things that would affect him. Here's the winning husband. But I want to keep this little guy's picture up here. So the police continue to say they found no evidence that Rodriguez Alvarez is not alive. They have no evidence. Noel's not. So that felony warrant is still open right now. They're searching everywhere for this kid. Everman's police chief released more details Friday about how the search was at the home. They were getting more intensified. He said a freshly poured concrete porch at the residence, paid for by Rodriguez Singh, had become a focus. Let me see, I didn't get a picture of that though. That's because there ain't one out there yet that I can see, that I can grab real quick. And I'm not gonna, do like the other creators where they say, oh, hang on while I go search the internet for something I should have got before I came on here. That's my fault. That I don't have a picture of the concrete slab. The chief said, though suspicious, there was no discovery that would lead them to Noel. Ultimately, our teams did not locate any evidence as a result of that dig that would lead us to finding Noel. We have obtained arrest warrants for Cindy Rodriguez Singh and Ars New Singh for abandoning or endangering a child, which is a second-degree felony in the state of Texas. Everman Police Chief Spencer said, we're in the process of working with our federal partners and locating these fugitives. They're not playing. They are not playing. I thought I had. Okay, hold on. Sorry. So now we have the FBI and the Everman police working together. And not only that, this is going to go international. I mean, that's how this is. The FBI has joined the agencies assisting Everman police with the search for missing 6-year-old Noel Alvarez. And I'm not going to take his picture down because we need to, because no one knows where he is. He could be anywhere in the United States. He never boarded that plane to leave. So he could have been given to someone to be trafficked. Sorry. I think my dog is snoring. That's funny. So he could have been trafficked. So that is what. Do you know how big this is for this search now? He could be anywhere from Texas to wherever their plane took off at. But it's got to be done. There's, because you can't find him, you can't assume he's disabled. I mean, you can't assume that he's dead. I'm going to bet money on traffic, guys. I'm hoping. This is the things that I don't like about doing trafficking, You don't want them to suffer by trafficking, and you don't want them to be deceased either. You just want them to come, find them, and bring them home. And if they're in a trafficking situation, they're not being treated well. So Noel Rodriguez, he has severe disabilities, and he's considered an endangered missing person. And that's one of the things I think, if he was traded for any type of sex traffickers or traffickers, period, or sold to anybody. Just because they got him for free doesn't mean they're going to sell him for free. There's all kind of things that can be done. The investing so far hasn't found any physical evidence of where Noel is or what happened to him. There's like zero, not no evidence, no physical evidence. Texas issued an endangered missing person alert for Noel when authorities discovered his mother and his 6 siblings had left the country on an international flight without him. That's where the candle got lit. An Amber Alert was initially issued on Saturday for Noel, I'm sorry, who authorities say he has severe disabilities and has not been seen since November. I do not know why. If it's been November, I'm trying to figure out why they waited so long since he's a child with disabilities. That just seems awfully long to me to wait for a child that has disability to be checked up on. I mean, we got enough trafficked children, and I know the social work is overrun, but that's not an excuse for not checking on somebody from 6 kids living in this palace, a social worker didn't have a reason to check on them. Right here. Oh, yeah, but they did. They had a reason. If nothing, that's just an unstable environment for the child. So the family was not stopped at Dallas Fort Worth Airport because they left 2 days before the Amber Alert was issued, police said. At a press conference in Everman, the police chief, Craig Spencer, said specialists from multiple agencies across the state are helping with the case. Experts and investigators have formed kind of a task force in search for Noel, who has a lung condition and requires regular treatments. That's what I mean right there. They should have never waited that long after November. Well, that long period. This kid missed a lot of appointments, and detectives continue to comb through documents found in the family's home and the truck and talk to relatives and friends. Cindy Rodriguez Singh has custody of 4 of her other children, ages 7 to 11, and a 5-month-old twins with her husband, 35-year-old Arshep Singh. All of them lived inside that large shed which was converted into a living space behind another house in Wisteria Drive. Members of the family lived at the property for about 9 years, and the shed was built in the last couple of years. Well, where the hell they lived before that? Where was this lady and this man living if they lived at the property for 9 years with 6 kids in the shed? Where did they live before the people built the shed? Okay. The man who lives at the house, Charles Parson, is cooperating with the police. Spencer said it happens. Parson truly was just generously a guy trying to help someone out. The police have scrutinized tips and leads coming in from all across the state about the boy's disappearance. But no physical evidence has been found. Circumstantial evidence has raised suspicions about Noel's disappearance. The family flew from Dallas Fort Worth to Turkey and then India for 3 days after police conducted a welfare check at the home. The mother initially told police that Noel was with his father in Mexico. How you living in a house like that shack, and out of nowhere come up with the money to fly 6 kids, 2 adults to Turkey and then India? That ain't no cheap thing from Dallas. Authorities determined that Noel was not with his biological father, who has been helping police with the investigation. Why wasn't Noel with his biological in the first place? Is a better question. Some family members told police they'd not seen Noel recently, but Spencer said Tuesday that police believed those statements were not true and relatives may have been coached to say them by Noel's mother. Police have talked with relatives on both sides of the family and friends, but the police have not ruled out the possibility that Noel could be with the family member they haven't spoken to yet. Oh, so what? They don't watch the news? They don't know what's going on? I tell you one thing, when she left in there with me and was far enough I knew she couldn't hear me or see me, I just straight up called the police. Because she's trying to get me in trouble. Many neighbors and friends talked highly of the family. Detectives talked with the passenger who was on the plane with Rodriguez Singh family to Turkey. Spencer said he could not discuss what the person told police specifically, but encouraged anyone else who saw the family on a flight or at the airport to contact police. From Istanbul, the family caught a connecting flight to India, which is Arshep Singh's home country. That's her husband's home country. Spencer said Rodriguez has not provided police with answers about where her son is, but she don't know. I think her actions say a lot. You know, we always say actions speak louder than words. I think her actions are saying a hell of a lot. He said authorities cannot rule out any possibilities about where he might be, and they don't know whether he's alive or deceased. Rumors have spread about human trafficking, of course. And investigators are looking into that. Of course they are. I'm not being facetious. Look, he's not a perfect kid. No. But he's worth something. And do I believe, since she tried to sell him already to another lady, that she would have went on to the next person who does human trafficking and tried to sell him again or give him away for some type of favor? What the world was that? I just heard a lullaby go off. I hope that's not a sign of anything. Uh, there's, I'm sorry. I got Lucas. Lucas is my road dog. He's my little black chihuahua. He's all black, but he's got a couple of white spots on his feet. He's snoring over there, and I think he's doing something else, and my phone's singing lullabies going off. Well, anyway, there's a lot of holes with that answers that we've been getting part of this investigation. And they just got a lot to continue to fill in. They're just not ready to speculate just yet on what they think happened to Noel. And I'm still very optimistic. Spencer said authorities are concerned that the family might not return to the U.S. to answer questions. You're concerned that you don't think they are? What the hell? They bought one-way tickets. That's not a concern. They took all the kids with them. They have no reason to come back in their mind. They're not coming back here because you're going to put them in jail. I guarantee you that. I just want to know, is India a state that sends people back, or do they punish them harshly? That's what I want to know. They issued warrants for Rodriguez Singh on a misdemeanor charge of filing a false report. That's all she gets? Okay, and a probation violation. She was sentenced to 10 years of probation in 2020 on a repeat offense of driving while intoxicated. Well, she's just a bundle of good mother, ain't she? And according to the Tarrant County Court records, it's unlikely that authorities would try to extradite the mother back to the U.S. on those charges. You think? I don't know how she has 6 kids with her. I don't know how she has any kids with her. Drunk driving, and all she gets is a probation violation, a misdemeanor. Now the child is missing. This is this is technically a disabled child with lung issues, and you waited so long that people don't even, you don't even yourself have a clue where to look. It's unlikely the authorities would extradite her yet. You think? But if the investigation leads to more charges, federal authorities could help with extraditing her, I think. Rodriguez Singh has a total of, well, she's got the Brady Bunch beat. Rodriguez Singh has a total of, sit down, she's got 10 children, 3 of whom are not in her custody and live with her grandmother. Oh, check there. Apparently, through a voluntary agreement. Check grandma. What's one more gonna hurt, right? What was I looking for? I was looking for something to show y'all, but I haven't forgot what it was. So don't worry about it. Okay, there I am. Woohoo. I was looking for the inside of that house again. Hold on. It's right here. Surprise. This was the last known place the kid was. The last. Spencer said Noel's disappearance has been absolutely insane for the community to comprehend. Why? See, I'm going to tell you right now, there is a big communication problem between social classes in the monetary amount. I hope that made sense, you know. Everman is a tight-knit community with a population of about 6,000. Oh, what a wonderful place for someone to hide who's of not so good statute and doesn't really play by the rules. Don't y'all know that that's where people like that hide out? They don't want to be in the big city to get lost, because they won't get lost. Because people in the city, a big city, they are always up in your business. Always up in your business. Stand in one of them's front, they got a sidewalk in the front. Stop on the sidewalk a second. They'll be like, "Who the hell are you? What you doing? Get moving." They'll stand in front of my house. Well, damn, dude, I was just trying to light a cigarette. I light it over there, across the street. I guess a population of 6,000 is grandmas sitting on the rocking chair, smoking the corn pipe. Good morning. How you doing? Oh, is that who you here visiting? I guess that's that kind of company, right? And they shocked it happened there. Come on. Come back and tell me what the heck's going on. I don't understand it. Makes no sense. We're trying to check on the welfare of a child while we're getting no information. Investigators are not working on a clock. They need not be, because they have no clue where he is from that shimmy shack that they were in to, well, apparently India. No, from there to they don't have. It's like, give me a sign. They're going to keep looking for Noel until they find out what happened to him. We need to get people in from Texas, every state, all the way over, just everywhere, to find this kid. Find this kid. He has lung issues. Look at him ears. Get a look of him. Get a look of him. I will make it easy for you again. 1 second, my picture will be up. I'm going to put the better picture up for you. Look. Find him. We know where Cindy is. We know her ass is in India. Don't worry about her. Let the law take care of her. Find this truck. There's the license plate. Memorize. Print this thing out and take it with you. Put it in your car. When you go to parks, look. You don't know what you're going to see. You don't know where he might show up. Nobody does. Texas Department of Family and Protective Services, Alliance for Children, and National Center for Missing and Exploited Children are also helping with the investigation. So is Nasir. He just put a picture up for you to print out and, keep it with you. You never know. Never. Especially if you're in Texas. The Texas investigation into Noel's whereabouts started on March 20th, when Texas Child Protective Services received an anonymous tip that Noel has not been seen since November 2022. CPS had a prior involvement with the family. Let me tell you something. If you see this kid, make a ruckus. Make a ruckus. Call him out by his name. If it's him, he'll turn his head. And if somebody all of a sudden start, oh, we gotta go, hurry up, fast pace, walk, get up, pick him up, go get, Either somebody follow him and somebody go get security, either one. But don't let him out your sight. I be following people sometimes around my parking lot at the grocery store because we live right by the interstate. And I be seeing some shady shit at the grocery store parking lot. I ain't never seen so much shady shit in all my life. Guy goes in, slams the door. You think you see something, you're like, what the fuck is that? And then they'll go in, then a lady will go in after they split up. They won't go in together. And then they ride around the parking lot real slow, trying to figure out which entrance they're going to go out of. Then they get out, cross the street into another parking lot, drive around, then exit out of the parking lot into a road that leads to the main highway or the interstate headed toward Texas. Did you hear everything I just did? That's called a slow drag. Get the hell away from me and make sure my ass ain't being followed. Everman police they conducted a welfare check on the home of Wisteria Drive in March 20th and spoke with Rodriguez Singh. That's when the mother told police that the boy was with his father. Police did not see any signs in the house to indicate that any of the children were in danger. Well, y'all didn't see that hot mess in there? How do you even know the other children were there? Did you count the kids? There's enough junk in that house. You could hide 2 or 3 of them under piles. Man, let me get a sip of my drink. Oh, y'all sitting out there. You don't want to come in. You don't want to be involved. You want to sit outside. All the true crime people. I'm saying true crime. I'm talking about true crime. Telling the same stories about the same thing, and stuff like him comes up, and I waited all day. All day I waited to see if the true crime people were going to take up the torch and put the information out there. So that's all I got to say about that. So if you come to my channel, just hit the like sign, subscribe please, and let's find some kids, or let's figure out some things that are going on that need to be brought to the attention of everybody. So on March 25th, authorities found a pickup truck that belongs to Noel's mother at the Dallas-Fort Worth airport. Inside the truck, police found a travel visa for one of Rodriguez Singh's other 6 children who lived with her. Well, how did that kid get on the plane then? The visa obtained by the family on March 21st was for travel to India with a stop in Turkey. Y'all didn't pick up the phone? FBI? I think they bolted a day or so before these guys got on it. That's the sad part. Police said they had no significant updates to release on Wednesday or Thursday. Please rest assured that as soon as we have something substantial to update you, we will happily do so, the department said on Facebook. The police urged, and I complied, the public to share any information, no matter how small the detail or how long ago they saw the family. Get a pencil. Come on, get a pencil. You taking too long? Get a scrap piece of paper. Go get it. I'm waiting. I'll wait a few minutes. I haven't left at all. I know other creators do that. They say, hold on a minute. Hold on a minute. And then they go make them a sandwich or something else. And they come back with their straw going up and down in their cup. And they're like, I don't do all that. You can call your tips in at, write it down, 817 293 2923. I'm going to read it to you again. You can send tips into 817 293 2923. That's the Everman Police. And they've also set up an email for tips. And it is tips, TIPS, all lowercase, at symbol, EvermanTX.net. I'm going to read it again. The email address is tips, TIPS, at symbol, EvermanTX.net. Now, y'all got that all up in there? So what, what did kick all this off, right? Like from 8 months? Well, it's simple. Noel started missing key appointments, which prompted the state to warn his mother that she might lose out on government benefits. So you see, that's where all this came from. The whole thing. Government benefits. He missed several doctor's appointments, and the government sent a letter to her threatening to end the benefits. So get this. Rodriguez Singh asked another mother, can I borrow your child to pose as Noel? Hey, Squirrel. I know you're busy and all, but Johnny's got a COVID. So can I borrow your kid to pretend to mine so that I could go get my benefits?
No.
The boy was last seen October 22nd for the birth of twin siblings. Jeez, Pete, who asked another parent, hey, let me borrow your kid to go? I don't know. Witnesses told police, okay, first of all, when they saw him on October 22nd, when he was there for the birth of twin siblings by his mom, police say the boy was unhealthy and malnourished at the hospital. But then, why did the hospital not help him now malnutrition and pump him up some and give him a good answer? Why not? Why not call a child care social worker right not then? You had him right where you needed him. Oh, of course not. There are no more brave nurses, I guess. See, when I say that, you gotta understand, it takes us all. If you look right, just report it. Bring it up to somebody. So what? You get your ass chewed. I'd rather be wrong and get my ass chewed than be right and do nothing. Police witnesses told the police that the mother referred to him as an evil and possessed child having a demon in him, and feared that the boys might hurt, that the boys were twins. What? Who says that? See? leave this thing up there. Print it out, y'all. Print the red picture out. Police believe they still in India. What are they gonna do to him? No, I don't. I don't. You know. You've just got to write it down. If you get what I said, or you came in after I said that numbers and everything for the Everman police are asking that anyone with information should come forward as they continue to investigate and look for this little boy's body. They have no proof that he's deceased. We don't know at this point if he is deceased, if he's been trafficked, if he's alive, if he's with nobody. No. If you see something, say something. A candlelight for Noel will be held at the Everman Civic Center at 8:30 p.m. on Monday, April 10th. And that's all I got for you guys. I really hope that you guys will. Thank you for putting that squirrel. Do you need that number? Oh no. I got one more video for you guys so you can get clear info. What did I do with my thing? Hold on. I lost it again. Hold on, I'll put this back up again too. So this is the information from the police, what they put out for the facts, as people like to say. Here are the facts. I just told you everything about this case that we know. But here we go. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Good afternoon. Everybody ready? Can you guys hear me okay? All right, good. Well, good afternoon. I have several very important updates to share with you on this investigation. I'm incredibly saddened to share with you today that the search for Noel Rodriguez Alvarez is now officially a death investigation. That means Noel will no longer be considered an endangered missing person. Based on the totality of the circumstances, along with the evidence available to us at this time, it has led to a very unfortunate, unimaginable, and devastating conclusion that Noel is likely deceased. As we continue to investigate the disappearance of Noel, one of our top priorities was to determine the accurate timeline. Investigators determined that Noel was last seen by a professional on July 21st, 2022 for speech therapy. Several other professional appointments were missed near this timeline and following, which ultimately led to warning letters from the Texas Department of State Health Services in order for Cindy to continue to receive government benefits for Noel. Investigators learned that near this timeline, Cindy even asked an acquaintance of hers if she could borrow her son for a doctor's appointment so that she could keep the benefits, stating that Noel had COVID. Our investigation revealed that Noel was present at the time Cindy gave birth to her twin daughters in early October of 2022. Noel was later witnessed for a short period of time following the discharge of the twins from the hospital in mid-October. Noel was described as appearing unhealthy and malnourished. Investigators learned through interviews that leading up to the birth of the twins, Cindy had made several statements about Noel, referring to him as evil, possessed, or having a demon in him. Cindy believed that Noel was going to harm the newborn twins. On November 1st, 2022, Cindy obtained passport photographs of all the children living with her except for Noel. On November 2nd, Cindy applied for passports for herself and all 6 of the children except for Noel. Interviews suggested that Cindy began trying to explain the disappearance of Noel in early November through various stories that she told. Cindy had reportedly told stories that Noel was with his biological father in Mexico, or Noel was with his aunt in Mexico, or Noel was sold to another woman in a Fiesta Market parking lot. Thanks to technology, interviews, search warrants, and the assistance of authorities in Mexico, investigators have been able to disprove each one of these stories. Throughout the investigation, we learned that Cindy has been known by relatives to be abusive and neglectful to Noel. Relatives and witnesses stated that food and water were often withheld from Noel because Cindy did not like changing Noel's dirty diapers. A relative even witnessed Cindy strike Noel in the face with keys because he drank water. Investigators have worked and continue to work tirelessly to comb through all of the electronic data and other information that has been obtained through a multitude of search warrants. We have not located any information that would suggest Noel has been sold or trafficked. We have additionally been able to disprove stories that Noel was given to other family members. Although the course of this investigation has changed, our commitment to Noel has not. We will continue to fight for Noel. Investigators are now working towards identifying potential locations and conducting recovery operations. We are engaging with several experts and highly qualified organizations to assist us on this venture. Some organized searches have already begun and are expected to continue in the coming days. Nobody is more committed, more determined, or more eager to locate Noel than this investigative team. We currently have active felony warrants for the arrest of Cindy and Arshdeep for abandoning and endangering a child, which is a second-degree felony. We want these fugitives arrested and extradited back to the United States so that we can seek answers for the disappearance of Noel. Lastly, I want to again acknowledge and thank all of those who have assisted us to this point, and it is an exhaustive list of great organizations and people. That includes the Alliance for Children, the Department of Family and Protective Services CPI Division, the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, the Euless Police Department, Grapevine Police, Colleyville Police, White Settlement, Forest Hill Police, North Richland Hills Police, Mansfield Police, Dallas Police, the Tarrant County Sheriff's Office, the Texas Department of Public Safety, the Texas Rangers, all of our federal partners, and our law enforcement counterparts in Mexico. Furthermore, I want to specifically thank Captain Zachary of the Euless Police Department, as well as Captain Shimmick of the Grapevine Police Department. These commanders have overseen operations associated with this investigation, and I am tremendously grateful for their leadership, dedication, and commitment in locating Noel Rodriguez Alvarez. These agencies and officers, along with my investigative staff, have been working tirelessly on this case. Thousands of man-hours have been put into the search for Noel. The commitment that has been exhibited by all of them is second to none, and I could not be more proud and thankful for all of them. I understand that this is not the news that we were all hoping for or praying for, and we must continue to stand together as a community and fight for Noel. The city of Everman will be holding a candlelight vigil for Noel Rodriguez Alvarez on Monday, April the 10th at 8:30 p.m. at our Everman Civic Center. This is obviously an ongoing criminal investigation, so I'm going to be limited in the responses that I can give, but I'm happy to take any questions that you might have at this time. And I'll be sure to take my time with your questions, so you don't have to pounce all over each other. We'll be okay.
You said from the very beginning during your news conferences that you would not believe that Noel was dead until you had evidence saying that. Are you telling us today that you have that evidence?
I'm telling you today that based off the interviews, the facts, and the statements that we've received, a culmination of all of the circumstantial evidence and the fact that we've ruled out other possibilities, that yes, I do believe that Noel is deceased.
Chief, I know you said before that you weren't going to pursue an extradition of the parents until charges had been raised. Now, because it's a death investigation and you're saying it's a second-degree felony, you're looking for an extradition.
So the death investigation is completely separate from the already existing warrants that we issued last week. Those warrants that were issued last week were completely unrelated to this for abandoning or endangering a child. It is a second-degree felony in the state of Texas, and we are seeking to extradite on those charges if we can make that happen.
Chief, you mentioned you're going to be searching some locations. Has that already started, and are those all locations kind of in this general area, or can you give us some sense of the scope of where you'll be searching?
Yeah, so investigators are still working to determine the exact locations where we'll continue to search. Right now, we believe that those are all within the general area of North Texas. I mean, they're in the vicinity here. And those searches have been in the general area of the residents there. So we will continue to identify those locations. I don't have any of those specifically listed out here yet, but they are working to identify those, and we'll move forward with the teams necessary to conduct those searches.
You mentioned a couple of final times he was seen. Can you kind of clarify what's the absolute last known appearance or confirmed appearance?
The absolute last known appearance that we have been given was that Noelle was seen at the hospital at the birth of the twins in early October, and possibly up to a week after that, or a week after the children were discharged and brought home. So we're looking at mid to late October in that timeline.
Do you have video from the hospital that shows Noel there?
No, we don't have video. We've been able to verify that through interviews.
You had said something about trying to get federal authorities to contact international governments. How is that coming along?
Yeah, so we're working with our federal partners. I mean, they're engaged with us now, and we are working with them. They're on the case, working side by side. So, I'm assuming that's who you're referring to.
Are they in
the FBI.
contact with any international government?
As far as their contacts and what they're doing, I have no clue. I mean, we rely on our relationship with them. When they have information to share back with us, they'll obviously communicate that with us. But I know they're working on it. I just have not heard what the status of that is yet.
Chief, on that topic, if there is a body found, if there is a murder warrant that is issued at some point in time, does that make it easier for federal authorities to go out and locate those family members and bring them here?
You know, I don't know what all it entails, and as far as I've never had to go after somebody in a foreign country before. I mean, this is obviously new territory for me, so I'm just not experienced in that. So I don't know what all that entails. I don't know what will make it easier. But, you know, obviously, I would think the more evidence that is there, the more, probably the more plausible argument that they can make in order to fulfill an extradition. But I don't know what those conversations look like. Never been a part of it. Have never had to pursue somebody in a foreign country before, so.
Chief, right now, do you believe that Cindy alone may be responsible for Noel's death, or Cindy and someone else?
You know, we don't have all the answers there. And that's where bringing them back and being able to interview the other parties involved and getting to those answers would be very helpful. I don't have all the answers there yet, and we're working towards finding those answers.
And Chief, I know that, in the investigation reports, you said that, police believe, the family without Noel, took away a reflected turkey and then went to India. Do they still believe that the family is in India right now?
Yes, we do believe the family is still in India, yes.
Chief, you say something about the locations. Are those locations around Everman or?
Yeah, the primary locations that have been searched thus far have been around Everman, yes.
Okay.
Right now, Chief, what do you need from the public?
We still need tips. I mean, we can't tell you how helpful some of the tips that we have gotten have been on this case, and we still need that information. We want to know anything and everything we can about Noel. So anybody with information, anybody who's seen them, anybody who's had conversations with Cindy about Noel, we want to know that information. And it's absolutely crucial that they share that with us so we can continue our investigation.
As the chief, at the end of your workday, when you go home since he's been missing, what's going through your mind without the answers that you are looking for?
Yeah, so this is by far, and I think I speak for the whole team, this has probably been one of the hardest cases that well, I know it's the hardest case that I've ever been a part of. And I'm sure that's the case for many of the other investigators that have been on this investigation. And it's something that we even communicate late at night, even when we're supposedly done working on the case for the day. We're even thinking of things and messaging back and forth and sharing new ideas and things to go after. So you can tell that all the investigators on this case have really been committed, including myself. And it's something that we're absolutely committed to pursuing and finding answers to. So I guess the short answer to that is really the days don't end at this point, and haven't. we continue to work on this. Any other questions?
Can you share something about Noel's father, as far as his status, or is he going to be able to travel or something?
Yeah, so we've had those conversations. We've turned that request over. I don't know what the status is. I know that the authorities in Mexico have been absolutely tremendous in working with us on this case and very, very helpful with us. And so I think at this point, I don't think there's any expectation that the father will come over here to visit with us. I think we'll continue the conversation through the authorities in Mexico, and that's been very helpful in the case. I know you asked what's next is continuing. Investigators are going to continue to pinpoint potential locations and organize these searches and see if we can't find Noel and bring him home. That's our goal. Anything else? All right. Thank you all very much. I appreciate your time.
Well, that was pretty informational. I think that's the nicest police press conference that we've seen in a long time. He was willing to give up as much information as he could, unlike other things we've been following where they want to hide everything, but that's okay. Listen, this is just another example of the bad things going on in our country. I hear people say all the time, I wish there was something I could do. There's always something you can do. Keeping your eyes open. You'll never know. You could never know what could walk right by you. Or you may see something. That's why they put up tip lines. So if you're afraid, you can send a tip in. Or a phone number. You can call and send it in. We're not asking you to be, the Robin of Batman and Robin, where you jump over a car and tackle them, and no one's asking you to be that person. But a little human decency would go a long way. We need to keep our eyes out for these kids, even the ones who are supposed safe. I'm not seeing a lot of safety around these days. Well, I tell you what, guys, I'm going to let you go with that. I'll be praying for you all. Good night.